today is all about my African Grey Parrot named Bailey.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Obviously, I would like to have him in the video with me, but he is in the other room asleep, and they can be cranky little toddlers, so I'm just gonna let him sleep, and I'll just have to edit in clips so you can get to see Bailey. So I am no parrot expert, and I should not be your source of information on parrots. Let me just go ahead and say that right now. So anything that I talk about is going to be my experience with my parrot that I didn't ask for, that I inherited. So just putting that out there. So my mother-in-law decided that she wanted a pet, and they had already had cats and she didn't want a dog, and so she just kind of settled, I guess, thought, let's get a parrot. And she was in her 60s at the time, not knowing how long that parrots can live. So Bailey hatched and she got him 6 months later. Bailey bonded to my father-in-law, Doodle. So Doodle is like your stereotypical brought up very poor, but he was a very hard worker, worked his butt off for everything he ever had. Just a, regular old country boy in Lincoln, Alabama. And so he had that deep southern, accent, and he was a heavy smoker. So that is what Bailey sounds like when he's talking like Doodle. And even though Bailey bonded to Doodle, Marie, my mother-in-law, still did all of the cleaning and feeding and like everything, because, that's just what us women do. So they got Bailey in 2008. I did not come into the family until like 2012 would have been when I first met my now in-laws and Bailey. And I'm an animal lover, so of course I was interested, but they told me from the get-go, that he will bite, he's like, they had me scared of him. Like, Doodle always told me, like, he could literally bite off the tip of your finger. And so that was enough for me to be like, okay. And so the only interaction that I ever had with him is they had a little plate on top of his cage with sunflower seeds, and I would feed him sunflower seeds through the bars of his cage when we would go over there. And this went on for years. So fast forward to 2020, Doodle died in March of 2020. So after Doodle died in March of 2020, Bailey became cage confined because nobody would get him out. But he still seemed to be doing well. Like, he's never been a plucker. Marie has always taken excellent care of him, and they were even though like she wasn't bonded, like they weren't bonded to each other. She loved Bailey so much. That was like her little baby, but more like a little companion because she couldn't handle him. But they spent all day, every day together talking, like Bailey wasn't just forgotten about. He just wasn't handled after Doodle died. So after Doodle died, my mother-in-law started building an addition onto the back of our house because we lived about an hour away, and it was just she couldn't drive anymore. She needed help, and so that's what we did. She added on an apartment to our house, and she and Bailey moved into our house, into their little apartment. And my mother-in-law, sweetest woman, love her so much. But it's a different generation she was born in 1941. So very different generation, like the age gap between me and my mother-in-law was a lot, because there's an age gap of 13 years between me and my husband. So my in-laws were elderly, and Marie does not do well with a change in routine. It used to drive me crazy, but the older I get, the more I can like understand it and feel myself getting comfortable in a routine. So, you know, it's like a double-edged sword thing. Like, it's annoying, but you also get it. If I try to do anything with Bailey or like just alter anything, her anxiety would just go crazy. She would just spiral and just stress and worry, and it caused her stress, and I didn't want to do that. So as her health started to decline, she had more and more doctor's appointments. And so on the days that my husband would take her to her appointments, when she was out of the house, I would open Bailey's cage door and I would just sit in the living room with him. And this went on for a long time. And then finally he would start climbing out on the cage door. And that is when I started this YouTube channel, because the first time Bailey ever appeared in any of my content was here on YouTube, and it was just like a random, like, by the way, this is the parrot that lives in my house. And then you guys became more interested in him, and then as he and I started bonding, he started appearing in more videos, and, you know, here we are today. So but about, I would say, a couple of months before she died, Bailey really bonded to me, and Marie was bedbound and on hospice. So, you know, she knew that she wasn't caring for Bailey, that it was me, and I was taking care of him, and that essentially he was my parrot now. And there at the end, I put Bailey on her bed, on the foot of her bed, and I let him perch there at her bed. And she liked that because she could see him in the bed, and they kind of got to say their little goodbyes and have a little moment. And I'm glad I did that, because the more I learned about parrots and how intelligent they are, I'm glad that I did that. And it's like, I don't know if he understands, but I kind of feel like he does. So she passed away in April of 2024. Bailey is now, I've moved him into our house, and he's right outside of my bedroom. So he's in my living room, in the family room, in the middle of everything. And I started just sharing random videos of Bailey on TikTok. I shared a video that's now over 4 million views talking about some of the things that he says, and it, you know, blew up, went viral. And so now I've got all these people that want Bailey content. Like, some of them even get mad and will leave rude comments on my videos if it's not about Bailey, which is super funny to me. Like, I have other things going on in my life that's not just Bailey, but God forbid I talk about anything other than that bird on my TikTok page, because some of them men really don't like when a woman has a different opinion and she shares it. So yeah, that's so fun. So just so you know, I have a lot of things that interest me, and I have a lot of opinions, and none of it has anything to do with that parrot. So there will be content that you see that has nothing to do with Bailey. So either don't watch it or just watch Bailey content, okay? I don't know what else to tell you. There are no rules here. We get up in the morning and we do whatever we feel like doing, okay? So yeah, that's kind of Bailey's origin story. We recently took him to the vet for the first time, to an avian vet, about 3 hours away from our house. I will have that video linked here and you can go watch it. We saw Dr. Graham in Huntsville, Alabama, and her staff were amazing. Great experience. I've got to make him an appointment to go back. So because they need to do a chest x-ray and some blood work. but they have to do anesthesia for that, and that makes me nervous because, I mean, as far as parrots are concerned, I would say I'm not completely ignorant, but you know, it's new to me, and I've seen a lot of people like in Facebook, like I joined Facebook groups for African Greys years ago, before either one of them ever got sick, because I knew, you know, they're at that point in their late 70s, so I knew they are not going to live forever, and, you know, I just kind of wanted to be prepared, and that was also a smart thing that I did, because I didn't have to stress myself, you know, out about any of it. So I just started casually observing in like parrot Facebook groups and stuff like that over the years, and I've seen a lot of posts in that group where people will take their parrot in and the parrot gets anesthesia and something happens and they die. And I really don't want to admit just how attached I am to that bird, but that's why I haven't done it yet, because I'm being overly I have some anxiety about it, and I didn't want to be that person that's like, I don't know, I can't believe I'm the person that is this bonded to this freaking parrot now. He's a little feathered asshole, and I love him so much, and his nickname is Stud Muffin, which then got shortened to Muffin. So if you ever hear me in my videos refer to him as Muffin, that's where that came from. I used to be overly affectionate and baby talk him to be funny and annoying because I thought it was ridiculous. And then somewhere in the process of me being obnoxious, I can't say it. Somewhere in the process, I became obnoxiously affectionate with Bailey, and then that affection then became real, and well, now I guess I can just roast myself. So yes, Bailey is my third child. He goes camping with us, he travels with us, like he is incorporated into all aspects of our life at this point. And a part of the reason I didn't want to keep him initially was because I didn't want to be tied down to an animal. I wanted to be able to, like, if we decided we wanted to go away for a week or whatever, that we could. And parrots, they're so intelligent, and they can get stressed, and they can, you know, start plucking their feathers, and it can cause all kind of issues. And so I didn't really want to take all that on. But fortunately, my in-laws were wrong about how adaptable he is. He's done fine. They were the ones that couldn't deal with the change in routine. Bailey's fine. Bailey is living his best life. Like, Bailey is having a ball. So before I end the video, I wrote down in my notes a few random facts about Bailey to share with you. So I'm going to share those little tidbits, and then that'll be the end of this video. If you are coming over here from TikTok, I am going to continue Bailey content, long form and short form, but I am also going to continue other types of content. In fact, my YouTube people, I haven't told y'all, but I just started playing with resin, and I'm getting a shop set up out in the camper barn. So Lee and I, and my neighbor Roger is a retired machinist and excellent like woodworker, so the three of us are gonna start like collabing on some really cool stuff, and I can't wait to share that with you. I also may just want to get on here and talk about politics politics or religion or my opinion about something, and that is my prerogative. This is my channel. I am Christy. I am Little Trauma Mama, and there is more to this channel than Bailey, but I love that you're here for Bailey, and I will absolutely continue to share Bailey with you. So just don't be one of those douchebags that leave a nasty comment because I dare to post about anything other than Bailey. So the random facts about Bailey that I jotted down: he goes camping all the time. He's got his own little carrier, and he loves to ride around campgrounds on the back of my tricycle. His favorite pastime is chasing piggies. And from what I've heard and the comments that I've gotten on other videos, this is a common behavior for grays. I'm not sure about all parrots, but I do know a lot of grays are fascinated with chasing piggies. And he doesn't really bother mine. But if Bailey sees my husband without shoes on, the chase is on. The chase is on. It's hilarious. Bailey will have my husband hemmed up in the corner and my husband hollering for me to come get this jackass away from me. And I do, but I laugh the whole time because it's hilarious. As I've already said, his nickname is Muffin. His other nickname is Jackass. My husband calls him Jackass. I call him Muffin. His name is Bailey. He is terrified of his little, I got him a little harness because I want to be able to take him outside and him not have to be in the carrier, but his wings aren't clipped. He can fly, so he would have to be in a harness, but he's terrified of it. He's terrified of his harness and Q-tips, but he is unfazed by the vacuum cleaner. I really hope that you enjoyed this video of Bailey's story. I've told it in bits and pieces here and on TikTok, but I'm just not that good at short form content. I over explain, and I like to give, you know, context for every little thing. I mean, it's annoying. Some people are really good at short form, and I just don't think I'm one of those people because I don't want to say I'm a talker, but I guess when it comes to like content, I am a talker. And YouTube is great for that. YouTube is great for like hanging out and, you know, just listening to somebody while you wash dishes or, you know, whatever. So thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video all about Bailey, and I will definitely have more coming for you, and I'll see you then.